This episode of Internet Today is brought to you by Feels.
We'd really like to start out by making fun of Quibi for yet another week in a row, but first we have to make fun of our big, fat, stupid president for being a complete moron again in front of the entire country during one of his increasingly pointless coronavirus task force briefings. At the risk of getting struck for copyright somehow, we'll just read you what he said during Thursday's briefing. Quote, "Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light." All right, never mind. I can't read this garbage.
You forgot the part where he started off like, "I know a lot of you are probably thinking about this," and then he proceeds to say something that literally no one has ever thought of.
No, but let's just risk it, and so we're gonna show it. That way, there's no questioning the words that are coming out of his mouth.
So, supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting.
Get the right folks who could.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful.
So there you go, folks. The President of the United States of America just up there, spitballing ideas in front of the nation and medical professionals as if they've never even thought to try out these methods or already know, without the need for rigorous testing, that these ideas are idiotic and the ramblings of a man who simply does not give a shit about whatever the hell he's talking about from 1 minute to the next.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the video, you can clearly see that he's just kind of thinking out loud to himself, specifically to William Bryan, who heads up the Science and Technology Directorate at the Department of Homeland Security. Only, according to Trump himself, the very next day, what he said about UV light and internal lung disinfectants, it was all just sarcasm directed squarely at the press. You idiots! You fell for it.
Yeah, it was one of my classic YouTube pranks.
I went up there and I was like, inject bleach into your veins and shoot UV light into your lungs. And I said it, and you wrote it down, and you published
fell for it.
You published it, you fucking morons.
Yeah.
You published the words of the president. Gotcha.
Yeah, after a few solid hours of companies like Lysol and even the Surgeon fucking General begging citizens of this country not to ingest disinfectants, Trump then claimed that he just did a big goof. It was just a big goof.
Yeah.
When asked about the comments that he'd made one day prior, the president responded with the following.
You're not encouraging Americans to...
No, of course. That was, interior-wise, it's said sarcastically. It was put in the form of a question to a group of extraordinarily hostile people, namely the fake news media.
Wow, what a goof.
It was a goof.
What a fun goof during these trying times.
Look at this.
Yeah, he did it. Anyways, Georgia, it's back open with reports that, yeah, indeed, there are places like beauty salons and at least one bowling alley has opened up.
Yeah, are you a bad enough dude to come down to the coronavirus bowling alley?
Yeah, this is all on Friday. Things are starting to open up. And I do have to say to people in the comments, I'm sorry for not assuming that every person on Earth owns their own bowling ball. There's a lot of bowling enthusiasts in the comments.
Bowler's mad.
Yeah, but the people who don't go on league night, they're the ones putting their hands in all the different balls.
Yeah.
Georgia, they'll also be reopening restaurants and movie theaters on Monday. I'm excited to see how AMC responds to this, or if they're just like, no, absolutely not. But at this point, they're probably pretty desperate to just be like, we'll do a movie screening for one person.
Yeah. When you come on down and see a movie, fill out a form before the movie absolving us of anything that happens to you while you're in there.
There's gonna
let's
be
all just enjoy a good show.
I would love to see the new terms and conditions updated on the AMC Plus A-List app or whatever.
Yeah.
You absolve us of any...
Yeah.
Legal.
This is on you, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. We'll screen the movie, but anyways, for the meantime, we just have to sit back and watch this cool experiment happen.
A test case,
yes.
In the words of the mayor of Las Vegas.
Oh, geez. My hypothesis, not a good outcome. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's a test case. And they're like, well, are you going to go down to the casino? It's like, no, I have a family.
Yes. That interview this week is, it should go down in this historical record. Just mind-bogglingly stupid. So if you haven't seen that interview, please go watch. Just type in Anderson Cooper interviews mayor of Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
She is, seems like she had a couple drinks beforehand, but I don't know. I've never heard her talk before, so anyways.
Anyway, now with all that out of the way, I guess we can finally shift gears from one catastrophic experiment to another. Quibi.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, folks. Quibi is still around. In fact, it's not even a month old, but you would be forgiven for completely forgetting that it exists because the content still sucks. And it looks like members of their executive team are starting to realize that this company's almost certainly going nowhere, so they're already bailing.
Yeah.
Before the app even launched, the company had already lost at least 3 executives, with their head of partnerships and distribution bailing last August, their head of daily content leaving in September, and their head of content operations leaving in November. And now, another one bites the dust.
It was announced this week that Quibi's head of brand and content marketing has resigned, leaving just a short 2 weeks after the app launched.
My work here is done.
But you didn't do anything.
Didn't I?
No, she did the Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
And all of the nonstop Twitch ads and YouTube ads that you saw. So work done, I guess. That spider is still over there. And I didn't kill the spider because I'm assuming that it's guarding us from other bugs that may be in the studio. Cool. Anyways, leaving just a short 2 weeks after the app launched, certainly during a time where the brand could probably use some help with marketing stuff, positive marketing anyways. And sure, I guess it seems like this is a thing that could potentially happen at companies. You know, you get your product launched and then it's like, see you later, I'm off to greener pastures. But it's a kind of a weird time for an executive to leave their position at a company just 2 weeks after the launch of their app and just head out into a world where executive level positions are kind of up in the air right now because the entire world is shut down. She did come from Netflix before this, so maybe just go back there. They're doing really well.
Yeah.
But who knows? If the company was absolutely killing it and was unanimously loved, would executives be departing like this? Probably not. I mean, we, of course, obviously remember when Machinima did the old executive shuffle a bunch of times, lots and lots of times, new bosses every other week.
Yeah.
And of course, we all know how Machinima turned out. So we're going to vote that this is a bad sign for Quibi.
Yeah.
But it won't be really bad until Meg Whitman and Jeffrey Katzenberg are like, I've got to go start another important company.
Yeah.
Not that I'm leaving this one behind. Believe me, I love
It's
Quibi.
just that our work here is done.
But you didn't do anything.
Anyway, speaking of bad, stupid, terrible ideas from the masterminds over at Quibi, they have now threatened some of their only real grassroots supporters with a cease and desist. It's like they're looking between 2 choices at any point in time and willfully choosing the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, watching Quibi, the company, struggle to exist and thrive in real time, is far more entertaining than watching anything that exists within the app itself.
Yeah, Quibi should do a reality show about themselves, and I would watch that.
Yeah. But yeah, there were Quibi enthusiasts out there, apparently, who were not employees of the company, nor were they paid influencers, just dedicated to the content and the app provided by Quibi. And they started a podcast to talk about all things Quibi related, aptly titled Quibiverse. Mm-hmm. That's cool. You want stuff like that. Look, people are saying nice things about our product.
Yeah, the zeitgeist is working. No, it's time to put it down. Now, obviously, Quibi wants to protect its stupid name, but they should have just honestly appreciated the free marketing that they were getting from this podcast and look the other way. These types of podcasts exist all over the place, specifically in entertainment. It's not exactly out of the norm for these types of things to exist, and typically, companies just look the other way. It is free promotion for whatever they're doing, but not Quibi. Quibi looks and says, we're going to do the other thing. They were very inspired by JFK, and I think they took the wrong message out of that speech back then.
We choose to destroy the small portion of the world who actually enjoys our products, not because it is smart, but because it is stupid.
Exactly. So Quibi, not happy about this podcast. Neither were their lawyers. Their lawyers sent the 2 people behind this podcast a cease and desist letter after 17 episodes of the podcast had aired. So they were busy. Yeah. According to the team behind the project, the podcast, via Huffington Post, quote, they were like, well, you can't use the name Quibi. You can't tell anyone that you're about Quibi. You can talk about Quibi, but no one can know through your title, and you can't have any artwork that resembles our stuff. They added that, quote, "It just felt so surreal to get a cease and desist from a billion-dollar company about our fan podcast in the midst of a global health crisis."
Here's an easy fix, though. Just start pronouncing it Quibi-verse, since the spelling created a new word anyway.
Yeah, it's not really,
Or just call it Quick Bites.
Yeah, Quick Bites the podcast.
Yeah.
Wait a second, hold on. Nope, lawyers.
But whatever, I don't know. Instead of just letting this free marketing exist, Quibi's lawyers decided to keep the negative marketing train rolling because the cease and desist order has already been picked up all over the place. And now, the podcast duo have also joined in with the rest of the naysayers, commenting that, quote, "We're just watching with bated breath and we will dance on Quibi's grave." So, very smart, good move, Quibi. Wonderful job. Keep it up.
Yeah. Now, before we get into the rest of the news from the world of entertainment this week, it's time to take a quick break. Calm down, get relaxed, and hear from today's sponsor, Feels. Do you experience stress or have anxiety or chronic pain, or you're having trouble sleeping at least once a week? If you weren't before, you probably are now. You are not alone. Many of us suffer from that kind of stuff. And personally, it's getting harder and harder to get a decent night's sleep these days, especially with everything that's going on in the world. But using Feels makes it so much easier to finally get the sleep that we need to be able to keep cranking out this content. So what is Feels?
Feels is premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep, and it naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. Like we said, a few drops of this stuff underneath the tongue, it will help you relax and drift away to slumberland. You just find your perfect dosage, you place a few drops of Feels under your tongue, and feel the difference within minutes. Feels works naturally to help you feel better, and there is no high, no hangover, and no addiction. So if you're interested, join the Feels community to get deliveries every month. You'll save money on every order, and you can pause or cancel at any time.
Feels has us feeling our best, and it can help you too. Become a member today by going to feels.com/newsdump, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That is feals.com/newsdump, or click the link in the description to become a member today and get 50% off automatically, taken off your first order, and you'll get free shipping. That is feels.com/newsdump. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode. Now let's get back into the news with yet another streaming service that may or may not succeed as they enter an already bloated market, HBO Max.
So we finally know when HBO Max will make its debut. It will become available on May 27th. And of course, you're probably already aware that if you're currently an HBO subscriber, you'll just automatically become a subscriber of HBO Max.
They're just becoming that app.
But what is there for new subscribers who might be willing to make the leap and fork over $15 a month for another streaming platform? Well, obviously, you get the HBO catalog and a ton of content from the Warner Brothers vault and pretty much every Studio Ghibli film. But also, like everyone else, they also have to offer something new.
Yeah, there has to be something that pulls people in.
And they announced a few things this week, including the following.
Love Life, a romantic comedy series that stars Anna Kendrick, who plays a woman trying to find the one amid the ups and downs of dating in the city and how each experience shapes her. Not really treading any new ground with that concept, but it's a show.
Generic. Craftopia. This is a kids' DIY competition show hosted by YouTuber Lore DIY.
Hey, getting paid. Again, we're very happy for anyone, especially people that come from YouTube and online content creation.
They broke out of the prison.
That's good. Get your money. There's also The Not Too Late Show with Elmo. Literally a Sesame Street spinoff that gives Elmo his own late night talk show.
Hello! Okay, good.
And because it's The Not Too Late Show, Elmo, according to the press release, Elmo's bedtime is like 7:30. So it's going to be airing before. But it's a streaming service. You just watch it whenever the fuck you want.
Is this late night for children?
Yes, it's for children and also very, very stoned adults.
Yeah, I guess.
Who are going to watch it in the middle of the night with a bowl of cereal. Wow. He's got guests and jokes and musical numbers and everything. It's just like watching Jimmy Fallon, except it's a puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, probably the one that piques our interest the most. Looney Tunes cartoons.
And new ones. It's the new Looney Tunes.
Yeah. So, here's the deal. There's absolutely no possible way to bottle up the magic of the old Looney Tunes, specifically because people our age are used to hearing the voices a certain way. Man, does it look like they tried with this one, though.
Yeah.
These new cartoons, they're hand-drawn, and according to the animation industry's top news and discussion site, Cartoon Brew, there will be around 1,000 minutes worth of content created. And these new episodes are drawn, but also written by the cartoonists themselves. And the studio says that they've allowed the cartoonist's own personality and style to come through in each cartoon.
Which is, according to that write-up, again, it's how everything used to be in animation way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't of course, talk about HBO Max, though, without mentioning their parent company, AT&T, and, making fun of them because we hate them, for the most part. AT&T just this week announced that they've lost even more traditional TV subscribers this year, subscribers that we assume they're hoping to win back with their streaming service. But they've got a long way to go considering how many people have jumped ship. And let's be completely honest here. People are dropping their TV services like AT&T Now, Uverse, and DirecTV because the prices are way, way too high for what you get, and their customer service sucks, and satellite and cable TV are pretty antiquated at this point, and everything is always bundled together, so you have to pay for like 50 extra channels to get the one that you want that's in a specific tier.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why people are ditching these traditional services. But for AT&T, in the year of our Lord 2020, there seems to be one reason and one reason only: the coronavirus.
Yeah, so we've said previously at least a few times now that companies are going to be using coronavirus as a scapegoat for their failings at an increasing rate. And for some companies, yes, it's a very justifiable thing. Maybe a bit less so for TV, though, because entertainment is pretty much the only thing people have anymore, and their competitors seem to be flourishing during this time. Netflix, for example, keeps adding huge subscriber numbers. But yeah, AT&T hit the news this week with headlines like, AT&T details $430 million virus pandemic earnings hit for first quarter. Loses 1.04 million TV subs. Which, we're sure was meant to convince their investors that these losses were caused by the pandemic.
Don't worry, folks. This is all coronavirus related. They'll come back.
They also, it kind of just tracks with, their failures over the years. I will say, one of the big reasons people always, when I say, like, why the fuck do you still have cable? And they're like, live sports.
Live sports.
That's the one, and like, I think that's the thing that had a lot of people holding on, like, with that last little grip. And now that's gone. It's like, well, why the fuck do I have this?
So that is a good point, but it's not like this hasn't been a trend over the past couple of years. The most glaring example here is the last quarter of 2019, Q4. The coronavirus, sure, it existed in Q4 2019.
No one knew about it.
But yeah, it hadn't affected the bottom line of AT&T's television brands. Everything was still relatively normal considering that lockdowns, layoffs, furloughs, and all that stuff, that didn't kick off until March of 2020. Now, according to the same article, in the fourth quarter of 2019, between AT&T, TV, DirecTV, and Uverse, the company lost around 1.16 million paid subscribers. In the first quarter of this year, the corona year, they lost 1.03 million paid subscribers. So they actually lost more paid TV subscribers before the pandemic set in than they did during the pandemic. And we're sure that a lot of people are cutting costs because of this pandemic. Its effect on the economy is immense, but people were already fleeing AT&T-owned services for a long, long time before it hit. So take that for how you will. And maybe HBO Max is going to be the thing that saves them all. But again, my biggest problem with HBO Max is the fact that when you have a brand like Disney, people are fans of Disney, and they know that Disney owns Marvel and Pixar and stuff like that. People aren't fans of Warner Brothers that much.
I'm a fan of HBO.
See, that's the thing. But we've already talked about how they co-opted the name to sell it as a thing.
They've diluted and devalued that. That seal of approval. Now they're just throwing a bunch of. Oh my god! I saw the funniest fucking ad for HBO Max. It was like Tony Soprano, and in the middle it was Chandler, and then on the other side it was fucking Sheldon, and it was like from Bada to Bing to Bang. It's like,
wow.
James Gandolfini is rolling in his grave right now. How dare you?
It makes me want to unsubscribe from HBO.
Yeah.
that marketing is not going to do well.
Anyways, over in entertainment that is actually improving because of lockdowns, live online events continue to flourish. There are multiple live concerts and raves this weekend, and one in particular is taking place entirely in Minecraft. It's called Block by Blockwest, and it has a massive lineup, including one of Ricky's, Knocked Loose.
They're a great hardcore
I tried
band.
listening to it. I had to turn it off after about 5 seconds.
Old man.
Oh, Jesus, racket. Anyways.
Knocked Loose is great, by the way.
Too loud. They're performing in a virtual festival site complete with merch tents, separate stages, and more. The cool thing about this one versus, just watching a stream on Twitch is you can actually participate and walk around and see other weirdos who are there while enjoying the music. It's in Minecraft.
Yeah, that's a private server, or not a private server, but you get
Yeah.
Minecraft for PC. It has to be like Java edition where everything's customizable, and you log into their server, and they have festival stages. They actually have so the merch tents. You walk into the merch tents, and if you see a shirt from one of the bands performing that you like, you click on it, and it opens your web browser to that band's merch page. So
that's pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. You just hate it because it's in Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean the one caveat is if you're over 30, you do get put on an FBI list as soon as you log in.
Yeah, you're FBI agent, but they're very busy right now with other things. But yeah, they do get an alert when you log into Minecraft over 30.
We got a potential pedophile situation over here. Yeah.
I was just doing it for the music, man. But yeah, it looks cool. It's going to be Saturday, so we'll leave a link down in the description for more info, so you can check that out if you're interested. Maybe you aren't, but listen, you could they are streaming it as well. You don't have to go into Minecraft, and you can just tab out, listen to the music at the festival, and not creep yourself out by being in Minecraft. Although I'm going to go in and try to enjoy it. It's kind of cool. It's very communal. So, anyways, speaking of events that all happened at the same time for everyone this week, I thought it was going to be pretty lame. I was like, I'll miss it. But I watched the recap videos of the Travis Scott event in Fortnite.
That was pretty cool. They put
really
a lot
cool.
They put a lot of work into that. It's a fun little concept because they're able to do kind of essentially festival sort of visuals, but the sky is literally the limit.
Yeah,
you can do fucking anything. He's up there 400
he comes
feet tall,
down and just stomps in the ground and it blows everyone away. It was a very, very
tight.
cool looking experience. So you would sign into a separate server for the event, and then everyone kind of waited around, and you could walk around and did a bunch of different things. You could watch him in this town, and then everyone started flying at one point, and we were watching it. Then they went underwater at one point, and it was really, really, really impressive. Although a bit short, it was only 10 minutes long, but it does kind of with everything that Fortnite has done for these live events, kind of gives you every little bit as more of a glimpse of the future that could exist within these types of worlds. Mm-hmm. So it is really cool to see. I mean, it's Fortnite, but it's not about the game. You're experiencing these things with your friends on headsets and microphones, and it's a cool way to experience things, especially now that we're all kind of stuck at home. And it was so interesting. In fact, over 12 million people watched it, which is, and this is live.
That's
all
crazy.
the VOD is going to get insane numbers too, but it's pretty incredible that many people came together to watch this event. And I think it's happening more over this weekend in different areas and time zones. So I think America's getting another one, but you can just watch it on YouTube. But it's pretty good.
Also, apparently Parks and Rec is back.
Yeah.
With their first new episode to have aired in about 5 years. The show ended a while ago, but this is just a one-off COVID-19 event.
Yeah.
We're assuming it'll be done via pre-recorded videos from each of the cast's homes that are edited together or something, maybe a Zoom call. But it is fully scripted. It's an episode. It's got pretty much the entire cast returning. Amy Poehler, Rashida Jones, Aziz Ansari, Nick Offerman, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Pratt, Adam Scott, Rob Lowe, Jim O'Hare, Retta. Apparently a few special guests are popping in too. According to Variety, the episode will be a slice of quarantined life in the city of Pawnee. And the episode's going to be raising money for Feeding America's COVID-19 Response Fund. So just good all around.
Yeah.
It's going to air sometime on April 30th on NBC. We would assume that it would be up online after, hopefully, not just on Peacock.
That would be bad if it was just on Peacock.
Yeah.
Really hard to see. All the ads that I've seen for it, no one gives a time that is going to be airing. So check your local.
What, you got somewhere to go?
You'll sit and watch all day.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. But no, it does seem cool because they could, the show, both that and The Office relied on a lot of cutaways and interview type things because it's a faux documentary. Yeah. So I think it'll be a lot of those different, it'll be a supercut of different interviews of how they're coping with quarantine life in Pawnee. But it's a fully scripted episode. So it's going to be more than just a table read, I would assume.
Yeah.
So either way, it's cool. I've been rewatching Parks and Rec and The Office right now, so this is
it's a good show.
Pretty excited for me.
Good show.
Anyways, in the meantime, we're gonna have Weekly Weird News tomorrow, but in the meantime, check out our most recent episode of Tech News Day and the most recent episode of Internet Today Daily, where we talk about Kim Jong-un being potentially really sick and potentially dying or not. Nobody knows. But check those out, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.